Fuck happiness. Stay angry. So, I don't know what it is with motherfuckers thinking that you should be happy. Whoever said that you should be fucking happy?
Why is the screen like this? Oh, there we go. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? E-Honda 42,000 over 9,000. I don't know, dude. Was just kind of sitting around doing some stuff today, and again being confirmed about my hypothesis that I put forward to Yankee about all of the fucking the violence going on, and not all of it is coming from the left. Granted, it seems like there is a little bit coming from either the right or just crazy people or something like that. I don't know if they're being triggered by the timing of everything, like everything else going on is giving them the green light to go ahead and do things or what. But I mean, I think it's pretty undeniable at this point that the amount of especially left-wing violence is over the top and is being caused directly by the rhetoric that has been happening in this country for the past 10 years. And that was my entire argument to Yankee. That was it. I was going to go from there again and make other arguments about, like, well, what do we do about it? What would you say? I had questions for him, but like I couldn't even get past that point. But thankfully, or not thankfully, depending on how you look at it, my point has been proven by reality. And unless you plan on ignoring reality, you can't ignore my point anymore. So anyway, thought I would talk about that real quick. But how are you doing tonight, Mr. Patriot? Hello? 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 Seems it's just me tonight. That's all right. You know, sometimes you got to do a solo chat. Sometimes you got to just do it live by yourself. Like everybody else. Who is being hunted and why? Says Scorch 1028. Well, the answer to that is multifaceted, but it's all kind of one side, right? Be you white or Christian or Republican or MAGA or conservative, which some of those things are kind of the same thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you're on a certain side of things, you've been labeled, you've been dehumanized, you've been, I don't know what the word is, devalued to the point where now you can be hunted. Now they have given a permission structure to people who are within a certain ideology that if you hunt someone who has our ideology or our political beliefs, sorry, my throat's fucked up, then you're doing a good thing. Then you're doing God's work, that you should be praised for it, that you should have admiration for it. And that's where we're at right now, dude. That's what's going on right now. It's blatantly obvious what's going on because of the rhetoric, because of everybody else. Yeah. I see you guys back there. I don't know, dude. Fine. We'll do a show. Dino's in here twice.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. My mic wasn't working, so I jumped out and then jumped back in.
You're good, homie. So what's going on, guys?
Just people delivering stuff to the wrong addresses for me.
Jesus Christ, dude, your fucking microphone. Okay, talk again.
I said people delivering stuff to my wrong addresses.
Okay, your microphone's better. I don't know what the fuck. You had your gain like to 70 or something. You had all of the gain on your microphone.
I don't know, man.
The only people being hunted is illegal immigrants. That's not true. Charlie Kirk got hunted. He's a person. And they got him. You know what I mean? And people on that side fucking cheered when they got him and made t-shirts and bobbleheads and memes and jokes and paintings. And I'm never going to forget it. I will never forget how you motherfuckers celebrated when Charlie Kirk got brutally murdered. It's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting for you as a human being to look at another human being getting murdered like that and to celebrate it. Means to me that you are demonic in ways that, I mean, I would say you're possessed. You have demonic possession is what I would say.
Well, I mean, my whole thing is, so as that comment said, illegal immigrants are being hunted. So criminals are being hunted? Like, is that a bad thing?
Well, and I would say the overwhelming majority of illegal immigrants who have been hunted because they were specifically given what's the word where you get deportation orders, right? So a court has looked at their specific case, pulled up their information, seen what they're accused of, seen what they're guilty of, seen whatever, and ordered a deportation, in which case then ICE agents go and literally find the guy and get rid of him, right? And the overwhelming majority of the deportations so far have been that. There have been a fair amount of self-deportations, and I think we need to work on the push-pull on that front, because the optics of ICE agents going door to door or whatever the case may be, looking for people who are illegal and getting rid of them or doing whatever they're doing, is honestly, it looks bad. It looks really bad, and it gives ammunition and fuel to the other side to say, like, hey, we're dealing with Nazis. Look, here's proof, right? But you go after the companies that hire them. You go after the state agencies that issue them driver's licenses. You go after the like leasing agencies that lend them an apartment to live in. And you say, like, hey, we're going to require of you, the employer, you, the licensing agency, of you, the rental agency, to do a thorough background check on the person that you're renting to, that you're hiring, etc., to make sure that they are in fact a legal citizen. And if you do not do that, or if you do that and then hire them anyway, there will be ramifications financially for your organization, right? We are going to impose giant fees and fines on your business to the point where it makes it completely like illogical for them to do that action. So then what are you going to do if you're here legally and you can't work? What are you going to do here if you're here illegally if you can't find a place to live? And then what you do, the other part of it, so that's the push. Now you got to have the pull. They give them, I think it's $2,000 per person to self-deport back to their country of origin, right? And like provide them, I don't know if they give them transportation or whatever, but I think that we should give them transportation. We should make it like super easy for them to get on the bus or the train or whatever it is, you know, voluntarily, of course. And we should up that 2,000 to like 5,000 or something, so that it's like, damn, man, I can go back to Mexico and like $5,000 is a lot of money in Mexico. Like I'd probably be like, I'm going back, dude. Fuck this shit. I can't find a job. I can't find a place to live. They won't give me a driver's license. Like, what am I going to do here? Or I could have $5,000 in Mexico and live like a king for the next year, you know? So you get your push-pull right. You get enough people who are voluntarily signing up for self-deporting. You don't have these ICE raids on meat packing plants and whatever else. You just have them fucking given the opportunity to get a free trip back home, and then we seal up the border behind them, right? We make sure that that wall is nice and tall. We set up the electronic surveillance. We hire the right personnel. We set up the regulations and security details in a way that it makes it very hard for you to get back, and very, very difficult once you're back to survive in this country illegally. And that's the only way that you do it, I think, because going after these people, one person or two people at a time, door to door, raiding businesses, not only does it look really bad, but it's terribly inefficient. It's going to cost a shit ton of money. Lots of people are going to get hurt in the process, if not killed. And no one wants that. The more voluntary we can make this, the better. So that's my point about that.
I think that's one of the big problems is the fact that they're not going, or at least as far as I'm aware, they're not finding or going after companies. Like, I think they've raided a meat packing place and they raided Hyundai, but did they do anything to the company or the owners who hired all these illegal people? No. So it's just going to keep happening, unfortunately.
Right. And that's the thing that they need to change. And if they change that, then things will change. Period.
I would say a counter argument to all this is the fact that when you're talking about imposing fines on these companies, they don't give a fuck. They're billion-dollar companies. You have to arrest these CEOs. You have to arrest these board of executives and pull that shit for them to actually get in fucking line at that point.
I disagree. If you if you make the fine so hefty that it's going like one or two of them, like, man, that's gonna hurt, but like you get like 20 of them, you're out of business. These billion-dollar companies, like, yeah, okay, they could probably take a big hit, but are they gonna keep hiring people like that, or are they gonna say, wow, we had to pay the illegal immigrant, let's say, $30,000 to work here full time for the year, right? But then we also had to pay $100,000 fine for that person. Maybe we could just pay an American like $60,000 a year. It'd be half as much as we were, spending with the fine or whatever, and we'd get the same work done. See, and like that's the other thing is like, yeah, I mean, there are a certain percentage of the population who are able and, young and can learn and would work if given the opportunity, but they don't have the motivation. And they've been raised in a society, not everybody, but enough people that have been raised in a society where they've just been handed everything and they don't work for anything and they will not work for anything because that's, and I don't know how you fucking jumpstart that situation. How do you kick someone in the ass to get them to like start working when they've just been on EBT and fucking welfare?
Well, you have to cut them off for sure. But I was going to bring the secondary point was also the fact that these politicians that are allowing this to happen, specifically Newsom and company, who are known to be bringing these illegals in for voter bases, they need to be arrested for high treason at this point because they are actively trying to screw the sovereignty of this country and demographically shift us to a point where they will only be in office because of illegal voters and stuff. And when they're committing voter fraud and everything else like that, like it's time for them to just go to prison.
Yeah, isn't there some like states or big cities where it's legal for illegal people to vote in local elections?
There's a couple that have passed. I know there's places in New York that have passed it. I know there's places in California that have passed it. And it's not right because you have no, there's even illegals that have been holding positions of power, and I believe it was Massachusetts or something like that. And it's like, dude, these people are not even legally in this country. They're not even legally allowed to hold office in this country. Why are they in power? It's like that superintendent the other day that got busted for being illegal here. They knew this guy wasn't illegal. They didn't bother doing any vetting at all on that dude. And they're like, oh, he was such a pillar of the community, though. And it's like, no, he wasn't. He was an illegal alien who had a bunch of criminal offenses and a bunch of felonies in this country.
Yeah, like, I want to go to, like, a fucking African country and be like, hi, I'm Dr. Honda. You should make me the superintendent of your whatever. And then just, like, live like a fat cat Although you're in Africa now, so living like a fat cat in Africa is like living like a poor here. I would assume.
Well, you probably got a higher chance in doing that.
Just because of the whiteness.
Yes.
So long as it's not South Africa.
Right.
Well, you know, and there's the whole country's fucked. I mean, the whole world's kind of fucked right now, isn't it? Doesn't it seem like everything's kind of fucked everywhere? Is there like a certain... I mean, I guess Poland is doing okay, but man, like no one's really doing that great.
Japan's still hanging on, but it's coming there too. But they're still hanging on.
Well, they're like thinking about shutting down their immigration policies because like they're having the whole population thing go on, and then they let a bunch of fucking people from America in, and a bunch of black people from the hood are like, oh, let's go to Japan. And now they're acting like black people in the hood in Japan, and Japan's like, oh, no, never mind. Sorry, we fucked up. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop this program because of you people. And you know which ones. It's exactly what's happening, dude.
I think
keep seeing all these TikToks of like black people dancing in the middle of like a fucking intersection in Japan, and all the Japanese people are just shocked by what they're like. Why would they do that? Oh my, like they don't know what to do. They literally don't know what to do. And the black people think it's hilarious that they don't know what to do. But
to be fair, but to be fair, a lot of the white people are doing the same shit in Japan.
Well, Japan,
I've seen the videos,
I'm aware,
same shit.
Japan culturally, as far as I'm aware, they don't like anyone unless you're actually Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, but also within the society itself, they're very rigid about their social standards and like how you're supposed to behave and politeness and things like that, which is a lot of the reason why they hate everyone who's not Japanese, because everyone who's Japanese don't understand the social niceties and fuck up everywhere they go.
But one of the problems also is they also taking in some of the third world to work there because of their population.
Yeah, and now they're like, fuck, we shouldn't have done that. We fucked up.
What's
good?
Oh, as I say, what's wrong with their population? Because I thought they had like a bunch of people, like at least Tokyo, the big cities and stuff. They had a bunch of people living there.
Well, why are we importing people by the tens of millions into America?
Declining birth rates, so they're trying to keep the Ponzi scheme going.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing over there, except for it's even worse because they're on an island. And so it's not like there's like a Mexico where you could just like hop a fucking fence, like you got to like cross a fucking ocean to get there. So when their birth rate declined, I mean, that's why you can get a fucking house in like, I don't know where in Japan, like all over in Japan for basically nothing, because the price of housing, like they just don't have the people to fill the houses anymore. And so you get like these like 20-year-old houses in the countryside with like a big piece of land and like a big Japanese garden and fucking badass kitchen and everything, like walking distance from the fucking subway for like $10,000 because just they don't have anyone to live there.
I thought that was because all the young people want to live in the city. No one wants to live out in the country anymore. So I thought that was the whole issue.
It's not just that. It's also the fact that you have so many working professionals that are not having kids that you don't have these people out there in the country anymore.
It's a population decline problem is what it is.
It's all the above. And some just choosing not to date. Some don't have the time to date because, of Japan's work history. They have no time for anything else but work.
You would think with all of like the technological advances, like logically speaking, that, oh man, like we don't have to do laundry anymore. There's a machine that does that. We don't have to do dishes anymore. There's a machine that does that. Like all of the labor saving devices and services that society provides, that like previously, like you'd have to walk to the well to get water to bring it back up, and now you just like turn on the faucet. And you would think like, oh man, like all we have to do now is just sit around and make babies. But somehow we've like done the opposite of that, and everything costs more, and you can't just relax because everything just you like have to like come up with money every fucking month to just pay the fucking piper. You know, like back in the day, they would just build a house out of bricks. They'd stack up some food. Once you had enough bricks and food, what else do you fucking need? You know?
Yeah. That's why it's hard to save money, because there's always, whenever I try to save money, there's always some shit else that just needs to be paid off when I start.
You also didn't have
More money,
government up
more
your ass all the
problems.
time too.
Yeah. Wait, what was that?
I say you also didn't have government up your ass every 5 seconds.
I'm not talking about government. I'm talking about rent. I'm talking about insurance. I'm talking about your phone bill, your electric bill, all your utilities, not like everything. And then now I have to go to the dentist because I got a cavity. Now I have to go to the doctor. Well, I can't just go to the dentist. I got to have dental insurance. I can't just go to the doctor. I have to have health insurance. So all of that's overhead. Now I like lost my job or had a bad month or something. And now I have to like decide which bills not to pay because I don't even have enough money to fucking pay for Top Ramen if I pay for all of them. So something's not getting paid this month, you know?
And then you want a woman on top of that?
Yeah, and all they do is just like take.
Take,
That's what they're programmed for, is like, I just need a man that makes 6 figures and all the fucking tropes.
6 foot, 6 feet, 6 figures, fucking
I'm
something else.
6 inches.
I'm with Ohio on this one though.
Right.
Like, I 100% agree. I get utilities are expensive and everything that comes along with being an adult is expensive, but just like how much money have you ever sat down and like calculated how much of the year you worked essentially for the government?
Well, there's that too. But again,
like,
I'm saying like back in the day, all you would have to do is like plant a garden and have a rifle to like kill some deer and like make some trinkets to sell some stuff. So if you needed some money, you could buy some shit and like build a fucking mud hut.
Yeah,
and
but
then you just fill your fucking mud hut with babies and food.
But nowadays you want to drive a car, for example. Okay, you got to pay taxes to the government. You got to pay plates and registration every year on that thing.
And
your house
sticker. Yep.
Your house, you gotta pay your property
you don't
taxes.
Own your house,
you don't
no
own
matter
your
what.
house. Yeah,
You never own your house.
Yeah, and that's all because of government. And I'm like, I told this to Duke one time. I'm not gonna like get into numbers, but so 1 year, I think I worked a little over 3,000 hours at my job because I worked a lot of overtime. A third of the time I was at my job, that was just paying taxes. I worked 1,000 hours in 1 year, all went straight to the government.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked, dude.
Yeah.
And that's not even
not to
including
mention-
sales tax or anything like that when you go buy stuff.
And the fucked up thing is like, then you find out what the government's doing with your money. Oh, they're dropping on bombs that I don't want people who, like, why are you dropping bombs on these people? I don't want you dropping bomb. Okay, they're doing it anyway. Oh, you're giving money to USAID and like fucking funding leftist fucking bullshit that I fucking hate with my fucking money under my fucking
Sesame
nose,
Street in
and
the
then
Middle
fucking
East.
lying to me about it.
Not even doing the basic government services. That's more on your local government, but I've noticed a lot of places that are like don't even maintain the damn roads right and shit.
Oh God, the roads are terrible. I mean, Leo, you live. I think I know where you live. Like the roads by us are freaking horrible.
Yeah. You know what? Where I'm at, the road is either new, freshly paved, and then the other half is like some off-roading shit.
Yeah.
That's what it always is.
Well, again, it's like if you were efficiently spending my money and taking care of things that needed to take care of and not like running up a debt on the country into oblivion and making it so that my children are going to grow up in a country where they can never own a house, where they are going to be debt slaves for their entire lives to a debt that was paid to corporations decades ago. for services that no one wanted or needed, you know. And that's where we're at, and everyone's like, I don't know what to do, bro. Like, I don't know what to do about that one because there's
I
nothing
don't think
anyone
there's anything you can do. The system's gotten so full of itself. It's like we're all just along for the ride, and hopefully we can make it to the end.
Well, I mean, we can all relax. In about 90 minutes, we're going to have a government shutdown anyway. So there you go.
Hey, can you hear me?
For a
Yeah.
little while. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
The thing is, like, I proposed a solution to this when I was 18, right? And at the age of 18, I believe the debt in the United States was somewhere around $5 trillion, $6 trillion, something like that. And if we had just taken and printed $6 trillion at that time and paid off the debt, took the inflation, whatever it was, right? Like the 20% or 10% overnight inflation that you would have when you do something like that. Cut the spending of the federal government to a point where the spending matches the revenue, so you're not accruing debt every year, and then live like that from then on, then we would have only had like a little fucking bump in our fucking inflation back then. Like, again, probably 10 or 20%, somewhere in there, which by this point we've gone well beyond that 20%. You know, like we're in the fucking, I think, 50% inflation since then, something like that. You know, I mean, it's been a 20% inflation since 2020. So
I think there's going to have to be a reset. Like, there's going to have to be one generation that just takes the hit for everybody going forward, because there's never going to be a stop. There's not an off ramp for the way inflation is running right now. And if one generation just doesn't step up and say, fine, we're going to be broke until we die, but y'all have to act right after us. That, I think that's the only way.
the problem is with fractional reserve banking and the way that our debt system works, there's not enough money in circulation to pay off the debt. There is more debt than they can pay off. Mathematically, it eventually has to fail or has to just keep inflating into oblivion until you're printing fucking quadrillion-dollar bills and shit like that, which who knows. But the point is that they can crash it at any time. The people in control, the ones who control the fucking Federal Reserve Bank, the ones who control the fucking world banks, the ones that have been in control of the entire fucking world since before I was born, these families that it's still, you don't even speak their fucking names when you talk about the richest people in the world because they're so fucking rich that they don't even count on the fucking list. And we're supposed to just go on with life like, oh, everything's fine. Yeah, these people who have no accountability, who have no oversight, who have never been audited, have complete control and can crash everything exactly when they fucking want to. So when things crash, it won't be Donald Trump's fault or whoever the politician who's in control when that happens, but I assume it'll be Donald Trump. Because I assume that it's going to happen the next couple of years, that they're going to pull the fucking rug out from everyone's feet and be like, ha, 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 you shouldn't have voted for that orange fucking tyrant. We told you so. Now fucking take the dick. That's exactly what they're going to do. And it's not going to be Trump's fault or your fault or my fault or any MAGA's fault because they have control over the detonation button and they've got their finger on it at all fucking times. But they also have their button on the push things further down the road button or whatever you want to call that. And they've been pushing that one for years.
Well, like you said, push things down the road. That's why I don't think the system will ever collapse, because if the system collapses, then they're the exact same as us. So I think they've built in laws and regulations and everything to prop it up so that way no matter what, they are the haves and everyone else is the have-nots. And the minute all that collapses, then they're screwed. So I
Not
don't
true.
think it ever will truly
Not true,
collapse.
dude. Not 100%. You're fucking dead wrong on that one.
Okay, well, how am I wrong?
Because it's not about money, it's about power. When they collapse the system, it will be a power play to gain more power for themselves so that they can buy shit up for pennies on the dollar or gain more control over things. It won't be, oh no, we have our finger on the button and we can crash the building whenever we want, but when we crash the building, we weren't ready. Like, they're going to be 100% ready when they do it. They're going to have all of their ducks in a row. And when they crash it, which they will, because it is a power play, and it's not about America, it's about the world. We're just a fucking chess piece on the board, right? And one of the ways that you gain control over that chess piece is flood in a bunch of illegal immigrants into the country and destabilize the fucking dollar at the same time as you fucking increase the amount of like social unrest within the country. And then you collapse the whole thing, and that whole power structure that stood as an obstacle to you conquering the world and having everything under your palm and in your power is now out of your way. And you profited from it. And you use that as a tool along the way to take over other countries. You know, like, that's exactly what they did with us. And now we're less useful than we once were, and we will be more useful once we crash, and we are not an obstacle, as in we have a constitution and a freedom of speech that stands in the way of them doing the things that they're doing.
Well, so I think what you're talking about is like them essentially collapsing. Let's just take America, for example. All right, collapse the system because there's a lot of people in power that hate the Constitution and hate how things are, and then rebuild it in their own image.
Right.
If everything collapses, is there actually going to be a rebuild?
I don't think you collapse everything at once, right? You would collapse a couple of countries or one at a time, right? And I think when America collapses, maybe a couple other countries get taken down with us, but there would be enough areas of the world that don't depend on our economy that might even thrive because of us not being there in the way or imposing military sanctions or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
So now China's got the ability and free license to do what they want, or Russia, or somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I just view it differently, because when I envision, like, let's say the whole Ponzi scheme system, whatever collapses, I envision America going back to like what our great grandfathers dealt with, which is what you talk about. There's not a whole lot of structure. There's really not a whole lot of regulations. There's not a whole lot of government or system, because everything collapsed, and you're left to fend for yourselves. Farm your own food, grow your own, food, have your own cows or whatever. And I don't know, sometimes I think that wouldn't be too terrible. Instead of having a 9-to-5 job, you're out feeding your chickens and tending to your garden and, living how, our ancestors and forefathers lived.
Yeah, that's all well and good until the warlord to the south of you decides that he likes your daughter, and
True.
he comes over with way more dudes than you're able to fight. So what do you do? Do you fight to the death and now your entire family's dead and they have your daughter, or you just give your daughter over?
How often do you think that happened back in the, I don't know, like 1700s, 1800s?
Often enough.
Why would it just go back to the 1700s? Like, if it was a total WRL collapse?
I mean, that's world history, period.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's human.
That's why women have Stockholm syndrome so easily, right? Because they're programmed to like capitulate to the conquerors. So if there's a group of men who come in and kill all of the men of your tribe and take all of the women as slaves, the women who were obstinate and that like fought back against it were slaughtered too. But the ones who were like, oh, let me suck your dick, fucking conqueror, were like, I guess I'll keep this bitch around because she sucks a mean dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's been for thousands of years.
Well,
So
my
so
point
there's
was like,
oh, good.
Oh, during like the 1770s, right before the revolution, we had like I mean, most places, unless you're really remote, and then the only people around you were natives, you had like a actual like society of similar like-minded people. Exceptions, of course, happened, but generally people were kind of sort of the same society and had similar value sets, came from similar place. The ancestors came from similar places in Europe, and
You're talking about
you know,
tribalism.
they were Englishmen basically. So it wasn't like a WRL type situation. There was less law in a lot of places, but it was like a more or less uniform society. And raids and stuff did happen out on the outskirts, but it was less common because you had like a society of like mostly like-minded people kind of moving in the same direction as far as morals and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't have that now.
Today's society, we do not have that, and without if the rule of law were to go away, it would not look like that at all.
Yeah, because we're already divided on economic lines and social lines and racial lines, and like everyone's already at each other's throats when the grocery stores work. Everyone's already at each other's throats when you can get gas at the gas station. How do you think things are going to be when you call 911 and nothing happens? And how do you think these demons that are in society that I believe have been programmed and brainwashed to hunt us are going to act when they have carte blanche to do whatever they want?
And not to mention, a lot of the population would die, and the survivors would be changed by that. Whoever, like, if the majority of your family and the people you cared about starved to death during the collapse, you think you would come out the same on the other side? You know what I mean? It would change people's behavior.
Plus, another thing that happens if there were to be a collapse that would be beneficial to the people in power who would orchestrate the whole thing would be that you kill off a lot of people who'd fight against you, right? Like, you've got like the blacks and the whites in America who are at each other's throats, and now you turn the power off, and all of these black people who weren't really good for society are serving a purpose now of hunting down the white people who would go against you and hold you up. So you're kind of getting two birds out of the way with one stone and opening up the whole country for whatever you want to repopulate it with or not with later. Sometimes it's about the resources, and it used to be that like human beings were the resource, by ourselves were a resource, but now we're more of a liability, aren't we? Especially in big cities. Like, how many people live in big cities and don't produce anything? How many people live in big cities and
A lot.
never have a productive job or come up with a unique thought or even come up with like a beautiful piece of art or something? Like, most people just live their lives out in these cities, using up resources, not producing anything, making the whole world a dirtier, worse place.
Yep.
How do you solve that? Well, their fucking way to solve it. I mean, we're living it right now, aren't we?
Pretty much.
Twig says women as slaves isn't necessarily true. There's many recorded instances where conquerors slaughtered every man, woman, and child before raising these. Yeah, nah. There's also a lot of instances historically of armies coming in, winning, killing every man, taking every child as a slave, and raping every woman. Because that's what you do. That's the plunder, right?
If you
Part of the plunder is the women of the city. Part of the plunder is like, they can't stop me. There's no laws that are going to get me in trouble for doing what I'm about to do. That's why I joined the army in the first place. Right? It was like, there's this promise of like plunder. Yay, plunder. Well, now the plunder is being promised to the jihadists and the crazy leftists. Oh my God, dude. All of this fucking rhetoric, you would think that like after Charlie Kirk got shot, that, like, the people on CNN, for instance, would look at themselves and be like, well, we had a good run. We kind of got a little spicy in our rhetoric. It seems that our spicy rhetoric has led to crazy people doing violent things. Maybe we should stop doing that. But no, what do? They double down. Now they're saying even more crazy rhetoric, and like Trump sending troops into cities to stop violence and to stop crime. We're like, this is proof. It's proof that we have a dictator. It's proof that the Constitution's over. You need to fight back against it now. There's nothing that we can do if we don't fight back with everything that we have. Ah! And it's like, bro, you are pressing every button on the keyboard right now. You are mashing the fucking controller trying to get your fucking character to kick and punch and do the fucking special move.
Yep.
And it's working because we've had more attacks. Dude, check this out. Hold on. Let me pull up Twitter. Because I've been kind of retweeting these things as I see them for the past week. So just today, we had a bomb hoax at the University of Utah Turning Point USA event where they had to clear the entire area and search for a bomb and detonate something, right? There's this guy, the fucking Michigan shooter, who they're saying is a Trump guy, but there's also a sign in his front yard that says "Stop Trump," and a post from like a couple days ago saying like the IQ of the president is 30 points below yours, something. I forget what he said, but it seems to me that his political leanings aren't really relevant because he went after it. Like, if you're a MAGA guy, let's say, right, and you go after a church, what MAGA rhetoric has led you to go after a church? I don't think there's any.
Crazy.
Yeah, you're just fucking crazy, right? So there's that guy, and there was the other veteran guy. It seems like two veterans went crazy on the same day for some reason. And I don't know if the other one was politically motivated. It seems like that guy's just kind of crazy too. Two fucking military, 40-year-old PTSD fucking having a Marine and a whatever, Sorry, go ahead.
What was the other military guy? I haven't heard that one. This is the only one I've heard about. Is this dude?
The
in
guy on the
Michigan.
boat in, was it South Carolina or something?
North Carolina.
North Carolina,
Did a
Southport.
boat drive-by on people.
Yeah, he hopped on a boat and did a drive-by on a riverfront restaurant and killed 3 people.
Yeah, he was fucking crazy. He said that I don't remember what he was suing somebody because I think it might have been the VA hospital and like a doctor and I think a church or something, and something else because he thought that they were trying to kill him because he was straight, because he wouldn't turn gay. It was just some insane shit. Like he should have been institutionalized. Like the VA or something should have caught that and locked him up in a loony bin before he convinced himself that everyone was trying to like turn him gay or whatever.
So here's another one in Eagle Pass where a casino shooting left Border Patrol agents got shot at and 2 people dead, right? ADL. You guys know about the ADL? Whatever. Oh, the Antifa firebombed Ice Cube's bus because they thought it was an ice bus.
Yes.
That one's
Damn,
legitimately
dumbass.
hilarious.
Yeah. Dumb asses.
I don't know what happened with this one. The 17-year-old wearing a MAGA hat was abducted and believed to be by 4 Hispanic men in Florida. Did you guys hear about that one?
No, that's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know what happened with that one, but that's a thing. Former U.S. National Army Guardsman charged with attempting to supply 3D printed weapons to Al Qaeda for global jihad. So you've got like global jihadists coming after us at the same time, which they're considered on the left. Here you've got an attack in an ICE facility in Broadview, which is, what is that, California or whatever. It's either California
West
or
Coast.
Chicago. I don't see any palm trees.
Might
I
be
think it's
Oregon.
What is it? Broadview. That's right outside Chicago.
yeah. That's Chicago.
Broadview, Illinois.
Oh, geez.
Been there
Well, there's some
many a
other-
times during New Year's at the motel. Pretty fun.
There was the people at the Tennessee college who decided to have a fucking Charlie Kirk like debate about DEI and got chased off the college by like 100 black people. You see that one?
Yeah,
my
like-
understanding with Cam Higby's thing there,
Yeah, it was
at HBCU, is that it started out as an actual debate, and then you had a couple cops come up there, and we're like, well, we're just going to stand here, and then it led to like 50 to 100 people coming up, and then there was like 500 people coming up by the time it was all said and done that were holding screwdrivers and shit.
There was the ICE killer in Dallas who copycatted the Charlie Kirk shooter by writing messages on his bullets. Right? That happened.
Yeah, ironic that he only killed detainees.
Well, yeah, and himself because he was such a failure.
Canoed himself pretty good.
Well, wasn't he
I
like
seen the picture.
shooting into vans and he didn't know who was in them? So I don't think his intention
Yeah.
was to kill detainees.
Yeah, but he's a dumbass. Like the population of the detention facility is going to be like 90-some% detainees, and he shoots into a van that carries detainees. Like fucking failure at fucking life. Just
Leftist attacking TPUSA outside of Minneapolis. Oh, that was from last week. I guess that's it. I mean, that's quite a bit of shit. And I know that's not all of it. Because if you go to Grok and say, list all the left-wing attacks in the last 2 months, just to see what it says. So you got Charlie Kirk, Dallas ICE, Fox News van had a bomb underneath it. I forgot about that one. The ABC station that was shot up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
oh yeah, that was for Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep.
Dude, there's way more than that. Fuck you, Grog.
Going back to the Michigan LDS attack, my understanding is that guy was going after his ex because his ex isn't a Mormon. That was not politically motivated at all.
Okay, here we
So
go.
I'd make that
Left-wing extremists firebombed the residence of Governor Josh Shapiro with his family inside. Remember that? Early August.
Yeah, he's a Democrat, and they didn't like him because he's a Jew. And they were still leftists though.
Threat linked to anti-ICE activists, part of wave of over 1,000% increase of assaults on ICE personnel. What is this? Portland and Los Angeles, Antifa attacking DHS and ICE agents. That's been ongoing. But that's been in multiple cities, not just Portland. Gunman with left-wing ties assassinated Charlie Kirk. Explosive device found and placed under Fox News van, covering the Charlie Kirk assassination. Gunfire targeted at Jimmy Kimmel's after Jimmy Kimmel's thing at the ABC affiliate station. Gunman yelling, "Free Palestine, open fire into wedding event," killing one person, wounding others, tied to left-wing anti-Israel extremist group. That was September 21st. Shooter with anti-ICE bullets engraved. We already talked about that one. A left-wing plotter, Joshua Runcliffe, issued threats of anti-vaccine and partisan motives against Robert F. Kennedy. That's great. And that doesn't even include all of the racial attacks too, right? Because you gotta say, like, well, the media has been talking about Trump and calling him a Nazi and Hitler, but what else has he been calling him and Trump supporters? for 10 years. Racist, white supremacist, KKK, etc., etc. So what do you think that does to someone who's like a black activist and has mental problems? It might make you stab a woman on a bus for no reason who's sitting in front of you. It might make you cheer for a bunch of Charlie Kirk memes when they make them, you know?
Mhm.
Like, not everyone's going to be violent, but certainly a lot of them are cheering for it. When you get that many people cheering for violence, like, this is not the end. This is the beginning. This is not stopping. This is gaining momentum. And that's not fear-mongering. That's talking about reality.
There was also another white woman recently killed by another black guy who was a multi-time convicted felon. Her dad went off on Congress the last couple of days here. This dude had like 25 or 26 felonies, and I think he had like 49 or 59 arrests, something like that, overall.
Oh, I live in North Carolina, where Charlotte is, the Arena Sabrutska lady. The Republican majority legislature passed a bill to get rid of that stupid fucking bullshit catch and release, no bail shit. Our governor is vetoing that because he's a liberal Democrat piece of shit.
Yeah, because they like crime. They like the criminals. Like, okay, in the gulags in Soviet Russia, the worst offenders, the ones who were most deserving of the worst treatment by the gulag, were the political thought crime people, right? Like the ones like us who were against the state, who were calling out the hypocrisy and such. They were the worst. The people who were considered to be the victims, who were actually given control over the gulags themselves and the prisoners, were the career criminals, were the rapists and the murderers and the gang members and the violent people, because the thought was that they would not have gone to a life like that if they were not somehow failed by either the system or corrupted by the thought crime people. So it's the thought crime people that most of the criminals are criminals, because they've raised dissent within the country, and so they're the worst criminals. So the rapists and stuff, not nearly as bad as the people who like created the rapist, which are the thought crime people. Isn't that kind of backwards, don't you think? I don't know, dude. I was going to apply as an ICE agent, and I remembered I could die just to be used as a pawn. Yeah. They are giving you a $50,000 signing bonus right now, though.
I was thinking about it.
You have to be under 40.
I'm not 40.
You have to be under 40.
I am under 40.
And if you're over 40, you have to have prior military or law enforcement experience. But that's the only stipulation. I guess probably no felonies, too. Probably helps.
Damn it.
I was about to say, damn.
You're a felon, Leia?
No.
He lives in Chicago.
Convicted or
born
charged
felons up
felonies?
there.
I mean, I think
it's a
we've all
felony to
committed a
jaywalk.
felony here and there. Just have we been caught and charged for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No comment.
I mean, if it's outside of the statute of limitations, it doesn't count.
Right.
No comment.
No comment either. Dude, there were some other stories too. Hold on, let me get back to my Twitter. Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
We
All right, now listen to Hillary Clinton.
As to illegal aliens, we agree with you that We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have. As to illegal aliens...
Oh, weird. It's almost like Hillary Clinton used to be a MAGA Republican. Because that's the MAGA Republican point of view right now, that the Democrats are fighting against so hard that they shut down the government because they want to provide health insurance to illegal aliens. When I haven't had health insurance, well, I had it for like 5 minutes, but it was the worst health insurance ever. And before that, it's been about 20 years. Do you guys have health insurance?
Yep.
I do. You know what would be entertaining, though, is if Republicans let this go through, and then anytime an illegal went to a hospital to get health insurance treatment, they arrested them and deported them.
Yeah, like we'll give you your stitches on the way back to El Salvador.
They want me to pay for my dental now, so yay, that's great.
They want you to pay for what?
Pay for my dental now. They don't want to cover my dental no.
Who's they?
I have an
Insurance.
HSA. Do they still Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If they still penalize, do they still penalize you for not having insurance, or they cancel that?
I think they got rid of the penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you get an HSA, it counts. So if you have a job where you're eligible for an HSA, you can get a healthcare. It's a healthcare savings account. As long as you have like a little bit of money in that, as long as the account's open, you didn't have to pay that penalty back in the day if the penalty's gone. That's why I didn't have to. I didn't get penalized for not having insurance.
You guys want to hear Bill Maher Here's Bill Maher becoming a Republican.
I mean, the fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
Absolutely. Nigeria, I mean...
Yep, because the left is fucking insane, and everyone's got fucking Israel derangement syndrome, and everyone's like, oh, did you hear that Charlie Kirk got shot by the Jews? And, oh, did you hear that the Jews did everything that is wrong, and the Jews people did the thing that you don't like? And if you don't like Jews, then you're an apologist for the Jews who did the thing that the Jews did to you, and it's all the Jews' fault? You know who else did that, you fucking retards? The goddamn Nazis. You're siding with the fucking Nazis. You're making fucking Nazi arguments. And most of it, not all, is coming from the left. Some is coming from our side. And I call that shit out whenever I see it. I think that the people that blame the Jews as a race for any... And like, if you want to point at the Rothschilds, right? Or the well, I don't know. Are the Rockefellers Jewish? I think they are. But there's like certain individual people or families of people that have historically used money and power to do bad things. And I think that it's appropriate to call them out, and that their Jewish heritage has very little to do with the crimes that they committed. Right? But their Jewish heritage is used to transpose that guilt onto an entire people. And it seems that everyone's either too lazy or too stupid to understand that that's what you're fucking doing when you do that. I'm not sure. Oh, here's more Bill Maher turning into a Republican.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So much news to get to. Big story. This just happened. James Comey, our former FBI director, was indicted today by the Trump administration. I didn't even know he had a talk show. Unbelievable. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Trump is in his we caught you with your taillight out phase of justice. They will find something to pull you over for. He's been trying to get Shifty Shift and Letitia James, who prosecuted him in New York, and James Comey. He's been, shall we say, agitating for this. There was a guy, Eric Siebert. He was the attorney general, the U.S. attorney there in Virginia. And they wanted him to indict Letitia James. He came back and said, boss, I can't find any evidence. Fired. Fired, canned his ass, put in Lindsay Halligan. She is an insurance lawyer, 36 years old, his personal lawyer, never prosecuted anybody, and now she's going after the former FBI head. If this was an episode of Boston Legal, you'd say this show has jumped the shark. Yeah, Lindsay Halligan. Did I mention she's a former beauty pageant contestant? Oh yes, for the talent portion, she kissed ass.
He's still got TDS.
Yeah.
So
At least some of those are kind of, I chuckled at.
What's that?
I just said some of those I did chuckle at. So he's kind of funny, unlike more than certain comedians.
Well, the thing about Bill Maher is that he's kind of cut himself out a sector of society, of the late night show or whatever you want to call it, that the left and the right both listen to. And they come together and they listen to his show at a time when we're at each other's throats, at a time when there's more, attacks of all kinds coming from both sides on each other. Everyone can go to Bill Maher and laugh. Everyone can go to Bill Maher and watch him transform. And that's the other thing, is he's slowly changing his positions. He's able to be logically moved in a direction when the logic is there and when the facts are there. And we're seeing it in real time. And
yeah, and
I think that eventually he's going to end up leaving the Democrat Party because of the revelations that he's having in front of all of us.
he's getting pretty close though, because all that stuff he just said, basically, he's doing it to them because they first did that shit to him.
It's true.
And,
I mean, the
when-
cancel culture did visit Bill Maher from the right back in the 90s, if you guys remember. Those of us who were old enough remember that Bill Maher used to have a show on HBO, I think. Real Time Talk. I forget what it was called.
That wasn't when it was with HBO. I think it was like NBC or ABC, one of those shows.
Yeah, but
he was
he had
on
a show
politically
where he
correct.
would talk about things, and
Right.
he would-
It was politically incorrect. That was
yeah, that's what it was. But anyway, like, he would talk about things, and he would get a little spicy on topics, and sometimes he would talk about the Republicans a little bit too fucking much that they didn't like, and they canceled him. I forget what it was that he actually got canceled for, but
What
he was
his
one
first
of-
show?
9/11 joke.
Yeah, I think he bashed the troops, something like that. He was like, it was like a coward thing for them to shoot missiles from across the ocean.
Yeah, no, he was saying that the
Right,
Al
yeah,
Qaeda
the-
had courage because they get blown up when they fight, versus the American
That's what it
soldiers
was.
that didn't have courage because they just press a button and shoot a missile.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah.
Which he wasn't really. I mean, not really a useful point, but was he wrong?
Courage
did-
or crazy? It's two different things. Well,
I would
don't know.
argue against it.
I don't know.
But my point was that the reason that Trump is going after these people, they used to not prosecute people of the previous administrations, kind of out of courtesy and because it looks like you're going after a witch hunt or whatever. That stopped because they prosecuted Trump and his people. So now they have changed the rules of the game, and now Trump can come after them about all the legal crap they've done.
Well, they've given Trump a free punch, right? They went after Trump, and they did the worst thing that you could possibly do when you go after an ex-president, which is, first, you don't get him, and then second, you let him get reelected. So,
Yeah.
of course he's going to have a vendetta. Of course he's going to seek revenge. Of course he's going to use the same mechanisms and the same power structure that you used to go against him to go against you because you opened the door. The problem is that most of these Democrat NPCs don't have the memory of a goldfish and think that like what Trump's doing is unprecedented. You know, it's like
Plus, what
And
Trump's going after like them for, they did like arguably seriously illegal shit. And Trump, it was a hoax against Trump, basically like the Russia hoax and shit. And they have to be, Comey was went to a grand jury and they found that there was enough there to have a trial. So it's not like Trump convicted him. He had his prosecutor make a case to a grand jury and they agreed to like all but one of the charges. So it's up
and
to a jury of his peers or whatever to find out if he's actually guilty or not.
and let's just realize that we're only just in year one of Trump's presidency.
yeah,
Just year one. We only in year one.
I hope they put Comey through the ringer. I hope that they bankrupt him with lawfare. I hope that he spends the next 5 years fighting for his legal life in court. I hope that fucking, he's just the first of a long laundry list of people who deserve that. Because he is only the first person in a long laundry list of people who have been bald-faced lying, gaslighting, fucking manipulating the truth to the American people for an agenda for decades now. So fuck them, dude. Fuck them. And if Trump can get any of them on any charges for anything, Godspeed.
Yeah, he went in his statement when the indictment got released. He even said that like, well, when you go against President Trump, that you should expect him to go after you or whatever, or to persecute you or whatever. That was him admitting he was going against the Trump administration while he was an employee of him. He was the daggum FBI director. It was not his job duty to go against the president's agenda. He was supposed to be the head of the FBI and doing FBI shit. He wasn't supposed to be going after the president because he didn't like his policies.
I keep getting in fights with people on Twitter. It's funny. Twitter fights are fun.
Yeah, and their algorithm keeps changing for me again.
U.S. government shuts down after Congress fails on spending bill. President Trump announces Pfizer deal to lower U.S. drug prices. Bad Bunny to headline 2026 Super Bowl halftime. Who the fuck is Bad Bunny and why does everyone care?
Some
I don't
fag
think he
rapper.
speaks English.
So long as it's not Taylor Swift, I'm okay.
If you want a homework assignment, I did. You probably don't. I posted something about the shutdown in the Discord, so you don't have to look at it.
The rights of citizens that are exercising their First Amendment rights, you're subject under 18 U.S. Code 242, depriving American citizens of their rights under federal authority.
Dude, if I was like an ICE agent or a police officer, I just have to put earplugs in because these people are just saying things and making noise. Like, I just have to like concentrate on visual. Like, you're gonna make me fucking shoot somebody. Oh, did you hear about YouTube having to pay $24.5 million to Donald Trump?
Yes.
Where's my motherfucking check? I need a lawyer, dude.
We all need lawyers.
How many YouTube videos did you post in the last fucking 6 years? Because I am up to 600, I think.
Probably over
I got
1,000.
2.
Yeah, I have 600 videos on my fucking channel. I have been shadow banned since about the 5th video that I posted. Cool.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah, I filed an extension.
Whatever. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want, unfortunately. It's like
I just got
RFK.
Did you
wear
retweet
bullshit.
that?
No, I can't.
What was that again? Yeah, I don't know.
There you
Oh,
go.
so Alex Jones? Okay.
It's
They just
retweeted.
got that
Right.
that digital ID thing over in England, where they announced they were doing it.
We have it here
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's
also
already
the thing
happening.
with Palantir, and I think it was some biometrics company where they're going to try and make U.S. military wear rings now. Do biometric stuff.
Keir Starmer's speech was scary in that when I was listening to it. They're like, yep, it's probably going to be happening here. Right, like right now, Kamala Harris would be giving that same speech that he just did.
LinkedIn is fucking censoring people's speech. Dude, how is Trump able to sue YouTube when they're like considered to be a utility or whatever?
His lawyers are good.
It probably has to do with the fact that they admitted that Biden allowed censorship there, or forced censorship in the company.
Is it 260 million?
I thought it was 24 million.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was 24, yeah.
well,
Which is like
that's so much money for
$24
me.
to
It
them.
doesn't matter if it's 24 or 260. Yeah.
Did he?
To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference because it's such an astronomically large amount of money. To YouTube, it doesn't make a difference because it's such a small amount of money.
Matter of fact, that's like a quarter to Google. That's like 25 cents to Google.
If they had to pay out every person that they shadow banned and fucking canceled to the same type of tune of that kind of money, they would be out of business tomorrow. They don't have enough money to pay out everybody that they censored.
Did he win a lawsuit, or was it just a settlement?
I think it was settled.
But still, they paid out the settlement. They don't pay out settlements that when they could like win the lawsuit, you know.
All right.
True. I was just curious.
Then to stop to dig it even deeper.
Yeah, Lyft did the same thing with that fat rapper woman. They gave her a settlement.
The fat rapper woman?
Yeah, claimed that she couldn't, like, the guy was like, "You're not getting in my car because you're going to bust my axle or whatever." And she's like, "Well, I'm suing Lyft then." And then she was
Oh, was
showing
this
off
that
her brand new vehicle the other day.
Was this that chick with the what? Was it Lizzo?
No,
No, it was like Dank Dumas or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
it's
even more
right. It
relevant.
was a chick that was even bigger than her.
Yeah, she's like 500 pounds and some change, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Even bigger yet still smaller as far as reach.
Mm-hmm.
More of a nobody.
Matter of fact, like Lizzo lost like what? How many pounds so far? She actually lost a lot of weight.
Well, didn't she jump on
Was
the
it
Ozempic train too, if I'm not mistaken?
Was
What,
it
the
because
what?
of the bullying?
Does anyone watch
What'd you
Yankee?
say, Ohio?
Has he said anything
Hell
about
no.
all the left-wing attacks?
I
Probably
have
not.
no idea.
I'll watch
I only
that
watch
shit.
this video about guns. Like if it's any video that has like his all of like the political stuff, I don't even watch. I only watch this video about guns, which is equally, kind of crazy sometimes, but it's fun to watch. But
Does anyone out there watch Yankee? Have you guys seen, has he said anything about all these left-wing attacks? Oh, that doesn't mean anything. I'm the Yankee Marshal, and I'm actually have cognitive dissonance, and I'm going to continue to double down about how I'm right, even though all of the evidence shows that I'm wrong.
Well, I think the thing is technically a lot of these attacks aren't going to count as left wing because in the studies, it all has to be like politically motivated and whatnot. And then even with the Antifa, or not the Antifa, the ICE attacks, any attack against a government agency is considered right wing because it's anti-government. Therefore, it must be right wing.
Right. Did you hear about the ADL? Fucking, they had TPUSA on their, I forget what was like their like list of hate groups or something like that is what it was.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And they quietly took them off of the list because they don't want to be like seen as adding to the violence against TPUSA, and hence like maybe they would be partially responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So they're like, oh yeah, we're just doing an update, and some of our information is out of date, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Which I'm like,
sure.
nah, leave that up there. Leave that up there. Leave it. That's what y'all
I'm
want.
pretty sure most of what is good is on an ADL hate group list.
I want them to stand behind everything they put out.
Well, they're all
Pretty sure
Soros
Chick-fil-A's
funded,
on there.
Dude, they had Christian Identity
Yes.
as a hate group.
Yeah, everything good.
Yeah, the
And they were
SPLC
like,
does the same
they were
shit.
like, oh, well, we don't mean Christians. We're separating Christian identity from Christianity because Christian identity has undertones of white nationalism and other things versus Christianity doesn't. So therefore, what we said was still correct, and we are not illegitimate.
The first Christians were Jews, and there's a large sect of them that's been in Ethiopia since like 2,000 years ago. Christianity is not a white religion.
It's no more of a white religion than Islam is a brown religion. But whatever.
It's arguably more brown because it's a Semitic, it's a sect of a Semitic branch off the Semitic religion. But it's not racially, there's nothing to do with race in the religion.
They are the color of puke after drinking coffee in the morning.
Arabs or Jews?
Yes.
Well, the what do you call it, Ashkenazis are a little bit lighter because they lived in Europe for a few thousand years and kind of intermarried a bit.
They're all white people. All of them. All white people.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
On a side note, apparently the Louisiana governor is now asking Trump to send troops into New Orleans.
Dude, New Orleans has been a shithole since Katrina. And it was kind
Before
of a
that.
shithole before that.
Yeah.
Aren't there like still areas of that city that are just like closed down because of Katrina and it's been like 20 years?
They have an amusement
They're
park
not
that
really
they haven't
closed
torn
down.
down.
They had to get torn down and then replaced. And actually, I was watching something recently about the Katrina anniversary. That I think it was Spike Lee had done the documentary thing for it. And it was these people talking about how Brad Pitt, like 2005 or 6, stepped up to build like housing or something there. And within like 2 years, the housing that he built were just complete shit, and they were falling apart on people. Like you can put your foot through the floor, literally.
Yeah.
Dude, this is
Oh, this is a good.
This
This is a good troll.
The Otto. Is it the old Otto?
I love that he actually did that.
I love that we have a comedian for a president. Like he's honest. He's got like the troll hats on his desk, like Trump 2028. Like,
Did you see the stuff he was tweeting out the other day about 24 karat gold stuff in the White House?
yeah, I don't know what that's about.
It was very ill-timed, I would say, because of the fact there was a lot of like real shit going on that needed to be dealt with, and he's like sitting there just trying to fuck around, basically.
I don't know about his tweet the other day, but I know he's been like spending a lot of his own money making the White House look more impressive to impress like foreigners from like wealthy countries, or not wealthy countries that have traditionally had monarchs and shit, and they or currently have monarchs and they value that stupid shit. I know we don't necessarily value that over here, but hearing it from Trump, he says like those guys value that shit. When they come to the most powerful nation in the history of the world, they need to be impressed, and he's spending his own money doing it. So
Yeah,
I don't
they
really
value
have
it
a
because
problem
they're a
with
bunch
it.
of fucking scumbags.
Yeah, but like they need to be basically intimidated by our
No, I get what
awesomeness.
you're saying. I'm just
is what
making a
what Trump's
point.
saying. I don't have a problem with it. If he made some ill-timed tweet, then that's
Yeah, well, I mean, it just
Whatever.
like it seemed kind of crass, given that with the hyperinflation and everything
Oh,
we
yeah.
have going on.
yeah. I didn't see the tweet, but yeah, I could see how that could look bad.
Candace Owens thinks it's the Jews.
Oh my God! Did you hear her rant about the bees?
No, I don't listen to her.
I
Oh, I
remember
didn't either.
something
It was
about
on
it.
Crowder. Crowder covered it, and I think it was Gerald filling in for him. I saw the clip. I don't watch Crowder regularly, but I saw the clip, and she was talking about how like the beehive was on the state flag of shit, what's that state that Charlie Kirk got?
Utah.
Utah, yeah, the Mormon state. But there's a beehive on that, and it had to do with some like thing she saw online about beekeepers or whatever, and that had to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination because of something else that she saw something online about, and it had to do with the bees. It was unhinged. She's kind of a loon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ever since she got fired, Drew, for the Daily Wire, she just,
I mean, it was before that even though, like, because you got to remember she started out as far left to begin with, and then she rebranded herself as basically right, and now she's kind of going full circle back, is what it is.
See, England knows how to do it. Look at this shit. Like, we're going to have dinner in the grand ballroom.
Trump wasn't proposing anything that big either. I'm sure his ballroom's not going to be that grandiose.
Well, give us some time. It's all going to be Middle Eastern.
Yeah, it's going to be like purple drapes and
Right.
fucking gold brass insignia everywhere.
Minarets on top of the building.
A bunch of genie lamps everywhere.
It basically looked like Epstein's Island. With the gaudy fake Middle Eastern looking building. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
With each passing hour, the federal government is inching closer to shutting down as a result of a stalemate in the U.S. Senate over a funding measure from the House of Representatives.
Yeah, I got
As
about a
far
half
as
hour
I
left right
understand
now.
it, they passed it in the House and then they sent it over to the Senate and they were going to pass it and the Democrats were like, yeah, we're not going to agree to this unless you give us like an extra $1 trillion on spending for like Medicaid or Medicare.
I hate this
For
shit.
illegals.
Every fucking year they're like, oh, well, we reached a new spending limit that we set for ourselves 12 months ago, and then we got to make a new limit because we can't get our spending under control. Like, you guys are fucking goddamn. If you had control of my credit card, I would just be fucked. I would just be, because you'd be like, oh, we need more credit on your credit card because we maxed it out and we can't use your credit card anymore. So we need a new higher limit on your credit card. Like, great. You're fucking everything up. You're making everything worse. Stop it. Stop spending money into oblivion. Stop printing money and sending it off to other countries for no good fucking reason other than, like, I don't know what your fucking reason is. Stop spending so much money on our military that you have enough money to match the top 10 countries below us combined. It's insane. Our children are going to grow up in a country that they're going to starve on the streets of because they can't afford food or housing. Because you're like, yay, we need bigger military. Oh, we need more health care for immigrants. We need more spending for discretionary reasons. We need more black fucking programs that you can't look into because it's top secret. Trillions of dollars for that. Trillions and trillions of dollars for that. The Pentagon lost $2.3 trillion in 2001. We still don't know what happened to that money. And when Doge audited the fucking Pentagon, they were like, oh, it turns out the way that you fucking file your information is exactly how you would file it if you were trying to fraudulently cover up a bunch of fucking spending that you don't want anyone to know about. That's weird. Hey, we're going to require you to, like, fill out this information from now on when you spend money. Sorry. And now all of a sudden, like, there's like more fiscal responsibility all of a sudden. It's weird how that works. Do you guys know about that one? It's like when there's like a line item on the Pentagon's spending sheet, they're supposed to be like, okay, $25,000 on this date, written the check to this person for this service or this good, right? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work on like a spending sheet, so that you can track the money and see where money went where.
Mm-hmm.
What they would say is, okay, here's the date, and here's the amount of money. Who was it given to? Blank. We didn't fill that part out. What was it for? Blank. We didn't fill that part out. So you just spent, in this case, $25,000 on something, and you can't tell me on what you spent the money was for or who it went to. Yep, that's what we're telling you. Oh, and there's like 60. It was like 50% of the budget's like that. Like half of the money that you guys spend is just put onto the ledger in such a way that no one knows who the money went to or what it was for. Well, I mean, that's the way we do things. Why do you do them that way? I don't know. That's just the way we do things. Why would you do them that way? Oh, maybe to like cover up massive fraud and corruption and spending money on shit that if the American people knew about, they would be fucking pissed. Maybe that's why they did it like that. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll never know, I guess, because certainly we're never going to audit anybody. We're never actually going to hold anyone accountable. Maybe Trump will eventually. But goddamn, dude, we have been sold down the river for so many years, and these sophists have gotten these fucking like numb fucking brain people to go along with their schemes and defend them for decades. And defend them like it's the good thing. Oh, the war in Iraq is good because they got the weapons of mass destruction over there, and we're going to stop them with the mass destruction. Like, okay, fucking dumb fuck. You have an IQ of Forrest fucking Gump, apparently. Or you were just brainwashed by the mainstream media, which I would say the majority of people who go along with everything and who fucking like hop on with the message as soon as it's given. Oh, Charlie Kirk was a bad guy. I think it was good that he got shot. Like that kind of shit. Because you don't think for yourselves, because you can't think for yourselves, or because you are brainwashed and you've given your thinking ability over to someone else. Either way, you're not actually playing this game. You're an NPC. Shut the fuck up. And that's the fucking show for the day, guys. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. Deuces, y'all. Sean up, Ian Fridge. Trooper to Shabba to pressure. Batakath care. Prick the troops. 2 words made in America. And we'll see you all next time.